Okay, season 1 of Supergirl. And first off, my biggest observation is I don't know who did the costumes, but she has the absolute most ill fitting costume I have ever seen. I mean, seriously, there are crackhead superheroes on Hollywood Boulevard that have better looking costumes than this, better fitting. There's a lot of mistakes in this series, which still don't take away that it's fun. It's adequate. It could be better in a lot of ways. Obviously, they're trying to put in all the highlights from the entire history of Supergirl into the first season, which is always a mistake. You plan a series out for 4 years, 3 or 4, and you space your big events over this period of time so that you actually have a couple years to plan for season 5 and 6. You don't spend all your money on the first day of vacation and then go, oh, gee, which is what too many producers do. I, I mean, seriously, I haven't seen season 2 yet, but there's always this epic, biggest ever ending to most series seasons, and Supernatural is one of those examples, but this weird thing with Superman, which is kind of silly because, I mean, I understand that there's a franchise factor with the Superman name, but there's also a history of multiple series with Superman, and that there's no common sense that they can't. I understand. Oh, wait a minute. We can't afford our own actor to do the series, is basically what it comes down to a lot of the times. Which is just poor producing in the first place, because that should be built into a contract. But there's a lot of times where the flying looks really bad. There's a lot of, I mean, like half seconds that just jump too much. Um, I mean, obviously, it's a low budget. It's not, the television isn't what it was 30 years ago, which amazingly is really silly. Well, we understand it's things like this writers' union bullpucky that ruin television because everybody wants all the money. It's like, oh, you made an extra $10. I want a $15 raise kind of stuff. And everyone wants that $10. And they think that there's enough $10 for everyone to get an extra $10 because they don't understand how business works. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to stick with the creativity. Bad costume, weird hair, too much emotion. It's really so girly that it makes feminism look weak, as most feminist projects do. She can't just be Supergirl. It's all got to be hyper emotion and teary eyed because she's a woman and she's strong enough to show her emotions. But it's just. And then there's the epic, chronic 5-minute monologue in the last 30 seconds of existence. That happens in every series. There's always that the bomb has 15 seconds, so let's have a 5-minute speech where everyone all of a sudden is perfectly well and normal and healthy and clear headed, and we're just going to have this whole conversation, and the clock is going to keep ticking. Because that makes sense. There's just so many minor lazy flaws. These are all lazy flaws, and they are epidemic in television production and in a lot of movie productions. But movies generally have better budgets and a little bit more expectation because you pretty much only have one shot with a movie. With a series, you can amend in an episode or two. They're not really amending. Anyways, that's Supergirl. looking forward to season 2 to see where they go from there.